Hey guys, I am so excited. Dylan and I are going on a absolute bucket list adventure. We planned this months ago. We are going to Havasupai. If you don't know what Havasupai is? It's a reservation in the Grand Canyon area. The Havasupai people own this land. It's their reservation. And there are magical turquoise waterfalls here. So the only way to get there is to hike 10 miles. There are helicopters you can do as well, but you have to have a permit. It is very hard to get. We planned this months ago. I applied for the pre-sale and I got them. So now we're going to Havasupai. It's a minimum of 3 nights, 4 days backpacking, or there's a lodge you can stay at, but we will be backpacking. I've never been backpacking before, and the last time I went was in college on a pre-orientation trip where the whole thing was planned for me, so I really didn't need to know what I was doing as much. Now we've done a bunch of hikes and we're super in shape, but we haven't gone backpacking, so this is really testing us out. We've been planning and preparing for the past month or so just to make sure we have everything we need. We're really excited about it. Now, while I'm really excited for it, I'm also super anxious and nervous. I've been anxious for days. I haven't been sleeping a lot, mostly because it is supposed to thunderstorm, and I'm worried. It's just a passing thunder shower, it says, on Friday, and then it says a little bit of rain on Saturday morning. But I've been planning this trip for so long, and I just hope that the waterfall, first of all, stays turquoise. But I also hope I'm safe and Dylan and I are safe. I've read up on all the safety tips for rain and thunderstorms, so I know what to do in case of one, but it just makes the whole thing like a lot more tricky, a lot more scary. So yeah, that's how I'm feeling right now. But we'll just have to wait and see how it goes. Sleeping at a truck stop right now, about 30 minutes from where we checked in. We checked in earlier today for tomorrow. They gave us all of our permits. They gave us a tag for our bag. You have to make sure that you're carrying your ID on at all times, as well as the permits, because they check those along the way. So tomorrow's the big day. Our plan is to get up super early in the morning, and then the drive is about 2 hours from this truck stop. The closest place you could have even stayed was the hotel we checked in at, the Caverns Inn, and that was about 1.5 hours from Havasupai. So basically there was no faster way to get there. So we're gonna get up super early and get there, set up camp, hopefully before any rain comes in, and then figure out the lay of the land. So of course we're gonna take you along with us. I'm super excited, also super nervous, so we're gonna see how this goes. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Before we get to the real adventure, we have to rewind a few days when Dylan and I started prepping for this long backpacking trip. First, we went to all of the last-minute stores, printed out our permits, and did our laundry to make sure that we were all ready for the trip. After doing a lot of research, we found all of the food that we thought we would need. We brought backpacking meals for dinner, crackers, salami, and cheese for lunch, bars for breakfast, plenty of snacks, and also sugar and candy so that we'd be energized on the long hikes up. We made sure to repackage them so they took up less space in our bear canister. We are overpackers, but we tried to keep it really light for this trip. We brought 1 hiking outfit each, 1 outfit for the days in between, and then 1 outfit for hanging around camp, including joggers, sweatshirt, and a jacket. Of course, we also brought a raincoat to stay dry. We stuffed that all in our stuff sacks. Then for gear, we brought all of our normal hiking gear as well as a couple extras like stuffed backpacks, gloves from Mooney Falls, and utility cord to keep our stuff dry. For toiletries, we kept it simple, but we brought wipes to make sure that we felt clean. I was a little extra with electronics. I have 3 forms of cameras, extra batteries, 3 portable chargers, and a tripod. It's worth the wait. And then we had our sleep setup. We have 2 sleeping bags, 2 air pads. All of those are from Big Agnes, as well as our half dome tent and a hammock. And we managed to fit it all in our 2 backpacks. Dylan had a large Osprey Atmos backpack, and I had a pretty small REI backpack. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit stressful when we were packing it all up, and we didn't do a good enough job of testing it out before, but we managed to make it work, and Dylan and I were ready to go. It's 4:20. We just woke up. We're gonna get dressed and hit the road. We were so excited to start our Havasupai journey.
The drive from the truck stop to the trailhead was about an hour and 45 minutes, and we saw a lot of other cars heading there on our way. We were blessed with this beautiful sunrise that made us feel like we were going to have an incredible weekend. We checked in with the Havasupai people before continuing on to the trailhead. We managed to find a parking spot that wasn't too far from the parking lot on the road. And then we gathered all of our stuff, making sure we had everything together before heading out on our 10-mile journey down into the Havasu campground. At this point, we were feeling excited, nervous, a little bit anxious, and I was, of course, watching the sky, making sure that it didn't thunderstorm at any minute. We hit the trail. Everything's ready to go. How you feeling, Dale?
Good.
Yeah? Tell us more.
Pumped, getting ready to get there. Excited. My pack is heavy, but it's gonna be great. That is gonna suck on the way back.
Woo! Feeling good right now, though. I need to get my hiking poles back on.
Feeling great.
But we're zooming. I do see a dark cloud in the future, but oh well. Okay, I think we made it down the switchbacks and we saw people already coming up. So they had to get up at like 2 or 3 a.m. and it's pretty flat now. So we'll see how we hold up. After our 1,000-foot descent, we finally made it down into the canyon. And although a lot of people don't talk about this part of the journey, the hike through the canyon is absolutely beautiful. Along the way, you see plenty of horses pass you by with packs, and I strongly recommend that you don't use them because I'm not sure how these animals are treated. We continued the hike going at a relatively fast pace and feeling good the entire time. I gotta say that I was just amazed we had finally made it. First break, but just like for a second. We're almost at 5 miles, so almost halfway there. Just a delayer, I'm already sweating a lot. And so I was like sweat through my jacket. Gonna have a Cliff Bar, feeling okay. Gonna stretch out the body. Packs are heavy, but they're like feeling okay.
Yeah.
Two miles away. 2 miles away. We just went through town. You have to wear a mask. You can't take pictures or video while you're there. And now we're having a little electrolyte break, but we're getting close. Just saw a sign for all the falls. I'm feeling excited.
So excited.
But also starting to hurt a little bit.
Getting a little tired. Could put my feet up for a bit.
Yeah. Can't wait. Once you get past Havasupai Village, you finally start to see the waterfalls and the gorgeous waters of Havasu Creek. It makes you feel like you're almost there. And then you come across Havasu Falls, and wow, it's like the whole journey was worth it. Camp is just a little bit farther from there.
What's the likelihood that we set up over there
And someone
and then somebody's like, oh, I mean, they don't have anything there except that little bag.
Yeah, I don't think it is anyone's. All right, Dylan and I made it to the campground in 4 hours at 11 a.m. We're exhausted. We walked all the way around the campground looking for a spot, and now we're between two. We've got one right here with this view, or one that's just across the river there. We think we're gonna go there because it's more secluded and less like a walkway. But moving right now seems like a lot of effort. I'm just ready to be sat. But it is gorgeous. Like, people are not kidding when they say this place is paradise. Like, the watercolor is insane. I've never seen anywhere prettier. You gotta come. How's your sandwich? So happy we brought sandwiches. This is our spot.
It's hitting right on the spot.
Definitely hitting the spot. I like our spot a lot. Right by the water. We're gonna put our tent there. We've got a tip picnic table. We're secluded. We gotta figure out where to put our hammock, but it's beautiful. This might be the most gorgeous campsite in all of the US, so no wonder it costs $450 per person to camp here. Yes, you heard that right. It's pretty expensive, but it's definitely worth it. This campground also has bathrooms. You get to set up and leave your stuff for the whole weekend and just do day hikes from there. And there's fresh spring water that you can fill it up. So it's almost like a luxury backpacking experience. We set up camp and then we just kind of laid. It's cloudy out now and it seems like it could rain at any moment, so we're taking it a little easy. It's like 1 p.m. We might walk over to Mooney Falls. We're gonna take today a little bit easy also because I'm hurting a bit in my shoulders. So it's really peaceful. There's a lot of nice sounds here. After resting for a little bit, we finally got our first view of Mooney Falls, and all I can say is, wow. Do you get the lighter?
No.
Oh.
Do we need it?
I don't know. Probably
Do you
did.
want to fill this with water or something, or should I do that? Where's the light?
Okay, should we use that one, or did you put liquid IV in it?
It had it originally in it, so I'm worried that
Okay.
you'll notice the trace amounts.
Drunken noodles for dinner. Should we turn it on? Should I light it?
Should we do it without the lighter? Try it?
Try it, yeah. You ready?
Turn it all the way up.
Ooh! Wow, that works well. Because we jumped back. Dylan and I had to do a lot of problem solving on this trip. Like I said before, it was our first backpacking experience. Yes, we did test our jet oil before we went, of course, to make sure it worked, but we had never actually cooked one of our dehydrated meals. So we were really excited to try them, feel out how the system worked, and decide what we would do on our next backpacking journey. I've never had a dehydrated meal before, so it's hard to compare.
I think it's pretty good.
All right, we just had the drunken noodles. We're using the same bag, heating up some more water. This is only 240 calories per person, so that's not like enough for dinner after hiking 10 miles. So now we're doing pad thai, and we'll see how they compare. I don't want to show because I'm worried it'll spill, but it's soupy. Maybe I should use my spoon. What do you think?
It's really good.
Compared to drunken noodle.
I think that this is better. Pad Thai is better than drunken noodle, I kind of wish the Drunken Noodle noodles replaced these noodles. Like if this pad thai had those Drunken Noodle thick noodles, that would be
True.
That would be the best.
Update, it started raining like 5 minutes after we got into our sleeping bags in the tent. So we're cozy and comfy, and it's raining. Good morning. It rained hard last night. We slept for 12 hours. I feel like a new person. I was kind of out of it yesterday. It's time to explore this beautiful place. It's kind of nice to wake up and know that you're not in a rush. You don't really have anywhere to go. Dylan and I really took it slow on the first day because we knew there was some bad weather in the forecast. We decided that we weren't going to push it or do any long hikes. So we slowed it down, made a nice breakfast, and some coffee. One of my favorite things that I learned about backpacking from this trip is how much time you have to just relax. In our everyday lives, we're kind of go, 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 doing stuff all the time, exploring places, but we don't get a lot of time to just sit back and enjoy the moment, surround ourselves in nature, read a book, and slow down.
It was really good. Delicious. Ready to go. We got our stuff sacks. We are going to the upper falls today. It's a little bit cloudy right now, but we're hoping it gets sunnier. We're gonna hopefully do some swimming, maybe get some fry bread, and we're just gonna explore. We're pumped. It's been a rainy morning and a little bit cool. The sun is finally coming out. We walked all the way up to Havasupai village. We got a couple snacks. You can't take any videos there. Then we went to go check out some of these upper falls, but we've decided we're gonna do a lot of swimming Monday on the day we have to hike back up because that's gonna be hotter and warmer, but not super hot. So we're gonna go find hidden falls now and then see where the wind takes us. We had heard from a lot of people that Hidden Falls was kind of hard to find, but we didn't find it all of that hard. You saw the sign and then you had to follow the water and the cliffside to get to Hidden Falls. As long as you have water shoes and you're willing to get wet, it's really not a problem. We came around the bend and the waterfall came into view and we were amazed. It was beautiful. We are all alone out here with this waterfall all to ourselves. Magical. It's amazing. Look at that. I seriously can't believe that Dylan and I had this space all to ourselves. This is one of the most beautiful waterfalls I've ever seen, and there was no one else around. So Dylan and I enjoyed the day, walked onto the rocks, and I finally convinced Dylan that he could swim as long as the sun came out. It was a partly cloudy day, so we waited for a sunny moment, and then finally we made our way into the water. It felt immediately refreshing, and the current of the waterfall took us downstream so fast. Although it was a little bit chilly with the clouds in the sky, we tried to make the most of our time alone by hanging out in the waterfall pools, enjoying the scenery, and just thinking about how grateful we were for being in a place that was this magical. Of course, after our hike, we went to the fry bread stand, if you're going to come here, you need to bring cash. We waited for an hour to get one savory fry bread and one sweet one. And let me tell you, they were worth the wait.
I think the taco's better because I'm a savory person, but this is delicious.
We kept it chill by just going down to Havasu Falls after we ate our fry bread, walking along the gorgeous creek, and then heading back to camp to rest for the evening. Successful day of exploring waterfalls. We got back to camp and we hung up our stuff to dry right there. Everyone at camp has like a hammock and hanging up their stuff because everything gets wet here because we're going in the water a lot. But it's been a beautiful day and I'm excited to have 2 more days to explore. Honestly, I don't think I've ever felt as relaxed as I did at camp, and I'm now convinced that I need to go on a bunch of backpacking trips because it was the perfect excuse to not be in touch with anyone and just take a minute for myself. Dylan and I ended up making another great backpacking meal and then taking it over to Mooney Falls to watch the sunset, which was a beautiful way to end our first day in Havasupai. Alright, we got a normal amount of sleep last night, 8 hours. Heading out today to do Beaver Falls and Mooney Falls. I hear there's some sketchy heights things, so we'll see how it goes for Dale. Because he usually is good though. Right, Dale?
Yeah.
So we're gonna have fun. People say that you should wear gloves for the chains. We get down to Mooney Falls, we go down a tunnel, and then there'll be chains.
Same gloves that built our van.
Finally, it was time to do the harrowing trek down to Mooney Falls. This is known as being the most scary part of the whole Havasupai trek. In order to get down to the floor of Mooney Falls, you have to descend down into a cave and then climb over ladders and chains that are covered in the mist from the powerful waterfall. It's definitely important to take your time as you climb down the ladders, steps, and chains down to Mooney Falls. If you're afraid of heights, you should probably skip this part or go incredibly slow and focus on your footing.
How was it?
We did it. It was a little sketchy, but just take your time and have 3 points of contact. The gloves helped, for sure.
It was very wet. I feel like we're already soaking.
It's like we took a bath. Alright, just got past Mooney Falls and got to a river crossing, so changed my shoes from hiking boots to my Tevas or Tevas. And it's beautiful down here. I was definitely glad to bring my Tevas because as we ventured down deep into the canyon, we had to cross over many streams, rivers, and waterfalls, and we got very wet as we went. The hike down to Beaver Falls is 3 miles from Havasu Campground. Walking through the canyon was completely peaceful. There was no one else around us, so Dylan and I had the time to take in our surroundings and enjoy the experience.
When you see the sign for Beaver Falls, that's when you know you're very close. Soon after that, there will be a couple of short wooden ladders that are really no trouble at all before you get to a small waterfall in Havasu Creek. Finally, you continue walking over the cliff until you get to a bit of a rock formation opening where there are 2 ladders, one going up and then one going down to Mooney Falls. These ladders are nothing when compared to the cliffs and chains over Mooney Falls, so you can definitely make it to this absolutely incredible spot. I don't know how Dylan and I got so lucky. Maybe it was the fact that we left at 7 a.m., but we got to Beaver Falls and there was only a family of 4 there with us. So we had plenty of space to go swimming, take photos, and really enjoy one of the most beautiful waterfalls in all of Havasupai. Turquoise water brims and cascades over these tiered level surfaces. We spent hours enjoying Beaver Creek, setting up our hammock to be right next to the cascade, making a lunch of salami, crackers, and cheese, and then walking behind the waterfall to see it from a different angle.
We were at Beaver Falls for 3 hours. It was awesome. We had it like mostly to ourselves in the morning. It's rush hour right now, super crowded, and the sun is kind of going down on the actual falls. So we're gonna head back up towards Mooney, try and swim there, and then see where the day leads us.
On our way back through the canyon, we came across a bighorn sheep, so we gave it its distance and just watched as it ate the food around it. One of our favorite parts about hanging out in nature is definitely seeing wildlife, so this was one of the highlights of our weekend in Havasupai. From there, we continued on to Mooney Falls, where again, there was nobody else there. It was 3 p.m. and the sunlight was slowly fading from the canyon, but there was still plenty of it for Dylan and I to go for a swim in the pool from the powerful waterfall. If you know me, you know that I love to swim wherever possible, so I was feeling euphoric as we dipped into the water beneath Mooney Falls. After some time spent swimming and playing around, we finally had to venture up from Mooney Falls, which is way less scary than going down, in my opinion. Once we got to the top, we admired the falls for a little bit longer before heading back to camp to play some cards, chill, and then head over to Havasu Falls, where we agreed to meet some of our friends for a nice little backpacking dinner to watch the sunset and enjoy each other's company. I'm not sure that there's a more beautiful backdrop for a backpacking dinner than this one right here.
So we watched sunset off of Sioux Falls, and our friends met up with us. Our friends we met on the hikes yesterday. So we ended up just chatting with them the whole time. It was really fun and nice. And we're gonna call it. It's like 8:30, I think. It's dark out. Camp is quiet.
Winding down.
And frogs are loud. And we're gonna pack up tomorrow and then do a couple more waterfalls on our way out, because we have the whole day ahead of us. They do say to start early, but we've decided that we'd rather spend the morning enjoying the waterfalls, and it's not going to be that hot tomorrow, so we'll let you know how it goes. Last morning we woke up and we're having breakfast by the falls. Gonna miss this.
It was really bittersweet knowing that we were going to have to leave Havasupai today. I've been to all 50 states, and Dylan's been to 49, and this was definitely one of the most incredible places we've ever been. We spent the morning packing up slowly after a late wake-up time because we knew that there was tons of sunshine in store that day. So we were going to make the most of the day, take advantage of it, and go for a swim in some of the waterfalls that we had missed on the other days. Although many people will tell you to leave early, we thought that this was the perfect plan for us. I'm not sure if it was because it was Monday or we left early in the day, but again, Dylan and I had the pleasure of having the waterfalls to ourselves. We first went to Havasu, where we swam in the water before heading up to Navajo Falls, and this might be one of my personal favorites in the entire Havasupai reservation. The water kind of reminds me of Tuck Everlasting, and it felt like paradise. Dylan and I had 45 minutes at this waterfall all by ourselves, where we just took in the cascade, took a bunch of photos, and of course, went for a swim. This seriously felt like a scene out of some kind of rom-com or beautiful movie. I felt so lucky to be here in this moment. From there, we continued on to 50-foot waterfall. This waterfall you have to access by hiking through the water until you get to this gorgeous landscape view of the Cascades. Of course, this was the last waterfall that Dylan and I hadn't swam in yet, so once we got up the courage, we went for a swim. Honestly, I could have stayed here all day if we had had the time, but I knew that we had a 12-hour journey to go, so we had to make the most of it with the time we had.
We just had an amazing morning where we swam in all the waterfalls we didn't get to. It was beautiful. We had a bunch to ourselves. Like, it was a perfect way to say goodbye.
Amazing.
And now we're gonna change out of the sweat clothes and start to hike up. We just left Supai. We stopped for a drink, some lunch, a water or lemonade, and you can hear the helicopters. We left at 2:30 from Supai Village, so we'll see how long it takes us to get to the top of the trail, but it's hot out here, but we had a beautiful day.
Finally, it was time to head up through the canyon and out of Havasupai. Honestly, I don't really even remember most of the hike up because we were really just trying to power through this long trek.
It's definitely hot, but Phil and I are making good time up the canyon. We're about a little more than halfway for the total hike. And the key,
Hi, Sis.
I have Sour Patch Kids sugar for the uphill. Our friend told us to do that. Oh my gosh, it's helping so much to just have a little shug every once in a while. It's a spot, keeps you going.
We were lucky that a lot of shade had come into the canyon by this point in the day, so it wasn't as hot or miserable as we thought it would be. But it was definitely mostly uphill from there.
We made it to the sign, which means only up from here.
Gotta go up to one of the top of those bad boys.
Yeah, I think we have maybe a little more than a mile left and a lot of elevation to go. But it's feeling cool right now with a nice breeze. And I feel like we have lots of shug left to go.
Yeah.
Up there. That's where we're going. The uphill is killer, but we are pushing along. Stop for a couple water and sugar breaks, but we're almost there. Feel it in my bones, yeah. And it's so gorgeous. So that's helpful.
So gorgeous.
Guys, we're so close. It's right there. And we came from all the way down there. How do you feel, Dill?
I feel very tired in my body, but so joyful.
Oh, we made it to the top. Oh my gosh. It was a difficult climb, but like, we did it. That sugar really helped. And we left Supai Village at 2:30. It's 5:56, so about to be 6. And I feel so good. And tired, but good. She's beautiful. We made it. Oh, we just threw our stuff. Taking that backpack off felt so good. What a beautiful day. And a beautiful time to be alive. Feel like a new person now that my shoes and socks are off. Like, oh my gosh, reborn. Am I right? And another pro tip,
if you have a cooler or something, or you're like us and have a fridge, leave something cold for when you get back from your backpacking trip. We've been looking forward to this whole hike. So cold. And now we're heading out. Thank you, Havasupai. Thank you, Havasupai people. Thank you, Body.
Oh, that was amazing. So grateful.
I just feel really, really grateful for experiencing that. Yeah, it's such a beautiful place. Well, all right, we're off.
As we drove out of Havasupai, we felt blessed for the weekend that we had. Dylan and I were brimming with gratitude, excitement, and we just couldn't get over the weekend that we had experienced. Along the way, we saw horses, elk, and cow, and then we saw a gorgeous sunset. It just made us feel so lucky to be living the life that we're living. We had the best weekend ever. Finally, once we got out of the canyon, we of course fueled up on some fast food and then paid for some showers at a truck stop because we were feeling a little bit gross after our long trek through the canyon. Havasupai is seriously paradise on earth. It almost feels like you've stumbled into the Garden of Eden with cascading waterfalls, turquoise water, and sunshine. I can't believe a place that is this beautiful exists within the United States. If you ever have the chance to go to Havasupai, I highly recommend it because it's one of the most incredible experiences you will ever have. Make sure to like and follow along on our journey.